You want to hear something that's going to blow your mind? Recently, I lost 20 pounds in 2 months, training only 3 times a week for 45 minutes. And in today's video, I want to break down exactly how I did it so you can repeat the process and get the exact same results that I did. What's up, guys? Josiah Novak with thetruetransformation.com, founder, owner, personal trainer for the past 20 years, since 2004. I've helped so many busy, high professional guys do exactly what I just said, lose weight in a shorter amount of time, but in a way that's sustainable and actually enjoyable for once without having to give up family, work, social time, and quality of life, right? That's the name of the game. So recently, I hosted a live event for all of our clients all around the world, and everybody came in, hung out for a weekend. And part of what we do as a team leading up to that event is we all make sure we're super dialed in with our own fitness goals. And we all pick typically a fat loss goal to go after so that alongside our clients, we're transforming too. It's just part of our tradition. It's walking the walk and just putting ourselves back in the shoes of someone who needs to lose weight. So I said, all right, at the end of the day, I walk around at like 12 to 14% body fat pretty much year round, but I want to get under 10% body fat and I want to get lighter for the summer. I want to walk around at a much lighter weight than normal. And this is going to help support performance goals that I have later this year with running and doing a marathon and all that kind of stuff. So I said, I'm going to lose anywhere from 12 to 20 pounds. Little did I know I'd end up losing 20 pounds, but I put a strategy in place to help me get there without sacrificing the time I needed to be putting in with my business, my career, my clients, and my family and all that kind of stuff. I took a little bit different approach. So the first thing I did was I set a workout schedule that I know I could hit 99% of the time. And for me, that was 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Those were my training days. And those were non-negotiable training days. I'd wake up, do some work in the morning, get my kids ready for school, take them to school, and I would just drive right to the gym. Now, I know what you're thinking. Not everybody has that flexible of a schedule, but that's not the point here. The point here is to find the blocks during your week, which is the first point I'm going to make, that you know the gym can be a priority. And if you put it as an appointment on your calendar, it's going to get done. And that's what I did. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I had an appointment from 9 to 9:45 a.m. every single week where I was in the gym, training, doing my workouts. Now, what I also did was on the weekends, if I had time, I would throw in a very short 15 to 20 minute workout, something like a CrossFit style WOD where I picked 3 or 4 exercises and I was doing them in a circuit. But what I found that over the course of this 2 months, I really didn't have a lot of extra time on the weekends. I coach multiple sports, basketball, football, and I help my son with baseball. So I'm constantly on the go from the moment we wake up on Saturday morning to Sunday night when we're wrapping up sports for the weekend. So I really didn't always have a lot of time. So I knew Monday, Wednesday, Friday were my non-negotiables. Now, you're probably wondering, well, what did those workouts look like? I've made a lot of workout videos. You can go check one out that I just made recently here where I actually take you through a whole week of training. But my workouts were pretty straightforward. I did a push, pull, legs training split. So on Monday, I would do push, which is chest, shoulders, triceps, and I would throw in some abs on that day too. Wednesday was pull, so back, biceps, rear delts, and traps. And then on Friday, I would train my lower body. I would do my quads, my calves, my hamstrings, and my glutes. And I was training basically every body part once a week. Now, in the past, I've trained things twice a week, and I've trained things even every day with full body splits. But I've grown accustomed to understanding what it takes to actually build muscle, hold on to muscle, and keep your body looking and performing the way you need to look and perform. So the answer to how much do you need to train? Well, at the end of the day, as long as you're giving enough intensity to your workouts and you're giving enough volume to your workouts, then everything's going to take care of itself. And what do I mean by intensity and volume? Well, this is going to look a little different for everybody, but let's just use chest as an example. Most scientific studies out there will say you need anywhere from 3 to 6 working sets every week to stimulate growth in your chest. 3 to 6 working sets would be described as workout sets where you take the exercise to failure. So if you picture, doing a bench press with dumbbells, you had 3 sets of 6 to 8 reps. Well, if you took each one of those sets to failure, you're probably going to experience some muscle growth over the course of time, as long as you're getting stronger, as long as you're staying at a right intensity level. So I know, because I've built muscle now for the better part of 20 plus years. Started training when I was 13, I'm 38, so 25 years in the gym. At the end of the day, I've built a significant amount of muscle. I'm probably not going to build a whole lot more over the course of the rest of my life. The game has changed for me now. The game has changed from trying to grow muscle all the time to maintain the muscle that I have. So you actually need a whole lot less volume to maintain muscle than you need to grow muscle. So let's just say, for argument's sake, you need 6 sets per body part of taking sets to failure in a specific rep range to grow muscle. Well, to maintain muscle, you probably only need about 2 or 3 sets. So almost half or even less than half of your normal working sets to maintain the muscle that you build. So knowing this, I set my workouts up to make sure I'm getting close to that building muscle range, but most importantly, covering the maintaining muscle range. So you know my workout split: push, pull, legs. All the body parts on my body had at least one main exercise that I focused on during the course of these 2 months. And my main focus was maintaining or even gaining strength over the course of the 2 months. Now, gaining strength doesn't always mean you're going to gain a significant amount of muscle, but it will lead over time to more muscle, or at least holding on to muscle more efficiently. So if you're getting stronger, you're pushing more weight, you're pulling more weight, you're squatting more weight, you're deadlifting more weight, all that stuff. The one thing you can hang your hat on is that you're holding on to muscle. If you notice you're getting a lot weaker over the course of a fat loss phase, then the likelihood that you're losing muscle tends to go up. It doesn't mean you're losing a ton of muscle. It just means that you're probably heading in the direction of losing muscle. So I would go to the gym 3 days a week, hit that training split, make sure I was taking sets to failure, making sure I was getting the volume I needed, making sure I was training every single body part with an exercise, at least one exercise, sometimes 2, depending on the body part. But what was I doing on the other days? Like, how was I supporting this whole only 3 days a week in the gym? Well, the answer is pretty simple. I had movement standards that I would hit 7 days a week. So not just the 4 days where I wasn't in the gym, but on the entire week, I had a movement protocol that I would make sure to hit. And this was really simple. It just came down to tracking my steps, making sure I was hitting an actually above average amount of steps over the course of these 2 months. This is actually where most of my fat loss came into play. Of course, I was maintaining a calorie deficit, a rather aggressive calorie deficit for the better part of 8 weeks. I was eating about 2,200 calories a day for 8 weeks straight, burning about 3,200 to 3,500 calories a day, not through my gym workouts, obviously, because I'm only in the gym 3 days a week, but through my movement. I was hitting about 15 to 18,000 steps on average for 8 weeks. Now, to give you an idea of what that means in terms of caloric burn, I was burning about another 1,200 to 1,500 calories just from my steps every single day. Because 10,000 steps a day for me is about 600 to 700 calories burned. Take that up a notch to 15,000 to 18,000. Sometimes I'd even hit 20,000. You can hang your hat on the fact that you're burning a whole heck of a lot more. For me, it was about 1,200 calories a day just from my activity. So I didn't put a huge focus on going in the gym, spending an hour working out. It was breaking up my steps throughout the day. And the way I do that was I always started my workout with a 10-minute walk at the gym, and I'd finish my workout with a 10-minute walk. I'd walk around between sets as much as possible. So instead of just sitting on a bench, checking my phone, texting, answering emails, all that kind of stuff, I would walk around. And yeah, I'd still check emails while I'm walking around, but I would get more steps in. During the middle of the day, I would take my dogs for a walk. So if you have a dog, this is a great excuse to get out and do more steps. 30 minutes, middle of the day, break up my day. After I eat my lunch, I would go for a walk with them. That'd be another 3,000 to 4,000 steps. Now, the big secret for me, believe it or not, was coaching. Coaching my kids at night almost every single night. Picture 90 minutes of walking around nonstop. I kid you not, sometimes I would show up to practice at like 8,000 steps for the day, and I would come home at 15,000 steps. And then, of course, throughout the rest of the night, you're walking around a little here, a little there, and all of a sudden, you're at 17,000 steps for the day. It really does work like that. And I was dropping weight like clockwork. I started my cut at 226 pounds at almost 15% body fat, 14.7%. And then I came all the way down to 206 at 9% body fat. So did I lose some muscle? Probably lost a little bit, but probably not a whole lot. Lost a lot of water weight, that's for sure. And then, of course, lost a lot of body fat. And this is how I set up my program. Now, For those of you who are like, yeah, I need to do something, every morning. Otherwise, I lose momentum. I lose that motivation if I start skipping the gym. If I only go 3 days a week, I'm not going to build the habit. And I totally get that, right? The tip I would give, and this is something that I implement a lot, is the hour that you normally dedicate to the gym. If you're only going 3 days a week, you have 4 other days where you have that hour where you're like, hey, I should be doing something. You can still do something, right? You can still go get active. You can still go walk. You can still, do some abs, do some stretching, work on your flexibility, work on your mobility, work on foam rolling. You can still use that sacred hour for health, but not have to go to the gym. You can even just do body weight stuff at home. You could do push-ups, you could do body weight squats, you could do pull-ups, you could do a whole ab circuit. You could find videos of, different ab exercises and try things out. If you're trying to build the habit, the number one thing I would say is if you're not going to the gym, I would at least go for a walk during that hour that you've dedicated to your fitness. But there's also the other side of this, guys. Like, I don't want you to get so obsessed with things that you don't have enough flexibility in your life. It's easy when we know we need to make a big change to go all in and get crazy and flip the script, do a 180, get super extreme with our goals and start to become super OCD. And you start to feel like you're losing your gains, you're losing progress if you're not in the gym. And that's a tough trap to fall into for a lot of us, because then all of a sudden the balance that we want goes out the window. My rule of thumb is you can always add more if needed, but why not give yourself a chance to get results doing just what needs to get done? If you want to go more, don't let me stop you. I love working out. I mean, there are periods during the year where I do go to the gym 4 or 5 times a week. Those are few and far between now with having kids and a busy business and coaching so many people like yourself. But it's important to understand that, it's not always going to be what works for me. It's always going to be what works for you. By the way, if you made it this far in the video, I just want you to know 2 things. Number 1, I appreciate you watching. It's great to meet you. This is the first time we're connecting. I appreciate you being here. Like this video if this is helpful. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this video. I have a whole host of other videos that will help you permanently transform your life. And last thing I want to say, guys, is this. At the end of the day, yes, I lost 20 pounds in 2 months. It's typically not the pace that most of our clients lose weight. Typically, clients lose anywhere from 12 to 15 pounds in 2 months. So a little less than what I did. I just know my body so well. And I also know what I'm capable of, right? I know how to push myself for short periods of time. I've been in this game for 2 decades now. So just because this worked for me, it doesn't guarantee that it's going to work for you. I know there will always be all the haters that come to the comments and say, this is nonsense, you're on steroids, you're on TRT, you're on fat burners, all this crap, right? And I get it, because when you hear about an extreme result, you typically think someone's doing something extreme to get it. And the truth is, I was in a big calorie deficit. I was doing an extreme diet. Yes, I was eating foods I love, but I wasn't eating large amounts of them. Was I training like a madman? No, I wasn't. I was only training 3 days a week, but I was walking around like a crazy person, getting a lot of steps in, because that's just the style that I prefer for that period of time. So you can take these lessons and you can apply them where that makes sense for you. And here's the thing, unique people need unique plans. You don't need a cookie cutter diet. You don't need a cookie cutter workout plan. You need something that's built for you. That's where the true transformation comes into play. That's your next step from here. If you've watched the video and you're like, this is all making sense, I like the idea of it, but I need something built specifically for my schedule. That's what we do at the True Transformation. We help you transform using a customized approach to your needs. But we don't stop there. We surround you with coaching. We surround you with the most supportive community on the planet of people just like you, executives, doctors, lawyers, business owners, people who have high stress, high demanding lives, who have kids, who have responsibilities, who would say at the end of the day, hey, I just want to be awesome on all fronts. I'm sick and tired of taking my shirt off and feeling insecure. I'm sick and tired of, wearing clothes that don't fit right because I'm overweight. I'm sick and tired of waking up feeling groggy and sleepy, and I'm in a bad mood all the time because I'm just not healthy. So if that sounds like you, well, the next step is really simple. We have links in the description of this video, or if you're listening somewhere else, go check out the links. Take the first step towards transformation, and that is simply exploring options that are at your disposal. We'd love to help you. We'd love to serve you. We've been in business now for over 15 years, helped them almost 10,000 clients across our courses, our coaching, and all our different platforms. So take that next step. We're here for you. We're here to support. We know you want to be a champion in all areas of life, and we can help you get there. Hey, by the way, my name's Josiah Novak. Once again, you can check out more resources here on this channel. go explore. I got a ton of other videos. Like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And we have a quote around here that I'll finish with, and that is, life moves fast. Make it count. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you watching. If you're watching here on YouTube or listening on the podcast, it means a lot. And until next time, I'll see you then. Be good, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Life moves fast. Make it count. Peace.